Hey, welcome to Questions Just Asked. It's amazing months of March. We're starting to look at questions Jesus asked. We need to answer. Sometimes I think we read the Bible and don't realize we need to pay attention to it. And so if he asked a question, we need to answer it. So we've taken a break from questions banned from the Bible. Um, and we're looking at questions Jesus asked. I found this article that had like 100 questions. We're not going to answer them all. We're going to answer key ones over this month of March into April and probably into May, and get back to questions banned from the Bible. So let's look at this question from this week. It comes from Matthew 7, verse 2. Why do you notice a splinter in your brother's eye, yet fail to perceive the wooden beam in your own eye? Whoa! Jesus was talking about forgiveness, granting forgiveness. Why are you so critical of your brother and not paying attention to what's going on in your life? That's what he's asking. And he describes it as a splinter, a tiny little splinter in your brother's eye, but a big old beam in your eye. Because let's face it, we are blind to our own sin many times. Everybody else can see it, but we can't. Because why? It's almost so close, it's out of perspective. But this is what he's saying. He's saying, stop judging other people. You are only responsible for your own life. So why are you doing that? And the answer is easy. Because I'm a sinner and I'd much rather point fingers at other people than look at the three of them coming back at me. Nobody said Jesus' questions were going to be easy. It's easy to do that. It's easy to pick on other people's little frailties. And of course, the biggest beam we have in our eye when we're picking on other people's splinters is our own pride, our own arrogance, our own ego. That's the biggest one. I've often said the biggest problem with Christians is us. So Jesus is saying, stop. Basically, what he's saying in this question with other people. Pay attention to your own self. Pay attention to what's going on in your life. You can't bring change in your life unless you realize what needs to be changed. Does it make sense? Sure does. And you, by the way, also can't change your brother. You can't, by your critical nature, bring about his change or her change. You can't do it. You're only responsible for one person, and that's you. So pay attention to what's going on in your life instead of paying attention to everybody else's, because that's their responsibility. We're really good as Christians as wanting to point out everybody else's sin but man, when we look at our own, it gets troublesome. That's it for today. Next week, we're going to look at Matthew 8:26. We're going to a simple question. Why are you terrified? And there's a great story behind that one. Join me next week as we look at that question.